You spent your entire Saturday deep cleaning, felt amazing for exactly 72 hours, but now your house looks like a tornado rolled right on through. If this cycle sounds familiar, it's not you. You're just missing one crucial piece of the puzzle. Hey, I'm Robyn. I am a retired ER nurse helping women over 40 take control of their lives by simplifying their home and health. As a nurse, I learned that treating symptoms without addressing the actual root cause never works. It's like putting a band-aid on a broken bone. It might look better, but the real problem is still there. Same with cleaning. We keep treating the surface mess without fixing what is actually broken. I used to be trapped in this exact cycle, and I would spend my entire weekend cleaning, feel so proud of my spotless house, and then by Wednesday, I'd be wondering if a family of raccoons had moved in. Raccoons probably would have been better than my own family living without proper systems though, because those little guys, they spend a lot of their time cleaning. So there are 3 real reasons why your home gets messy again so quickly, and once you understand them, you can break this draining cycle for good. Problem 1 is you're organizing clutter, not eliminating it. Here is what most of us do when we clean. We tidy up, we maybe put things in bins or baskets, we pick up some recycling, some garbage, some laundry, and we organize what's left. But that is not actually cleaning, that is just rearranging clutter. Now, I will admit, I was the queen of this. I thought bins were going to solve my problem. I actually had shelves built in this small little storage room that we had. I had my uncle build some in my garage. I had bins for everything. Homeless toys, a big bin for tangled cords that I didn't know what they went with, a bin filled with random small things that I thought, I might need this one day, but you know, that's a trap. Don't fall for that trap. My house, it kind of looked organized, but beneath the surface, it was not. It was just like contained chaos. I actually had so many organizing containers that I needed containers to organize my containers. I had made a serious cleaning mistake. It was like, what? I was trying to organize an abundance of stuff that we just did not need, which is so silly if you think about it. When you organize without decluttering first, you're essentially playing a game of musical chairs with your stuff. Except in this game, there are always way more chairs than people, and somehow you still can't find a place to sit. So the truth is, if you have too much stuff in your space, no amount of organizing will keep it tidy. You cannot organize your way out of having too much stuff any more than you can organize your way out of a too small pair of jeans. And I am curious if this has ever happened to you where you have been trapped in clothing and you briefly panic and you're like, am I gonna get these jeans off? It's kind of scary. Think about it. If your closet is stuffed with clothes and you just reorganize them, it is still stuffed with clothes. The volume has not changed. If your kitchen drawers are overflowing and you just buy more organizers, they are still overflowing. And they're probably not going to look good for long. I am sure that I have spent thousands, if not more, of dollars on organizing products to organize stuff I didn't even like. I was literally paying money to store things that made my life harder. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? And I do need to tell you quickly what kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. So I worked in the emergency department as a nurse, and it is a hard place to work, you guys. Like, people are having the worst day of their life, and you are taking that on. I am an empathetic person. I absorb feelings. I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, I would get home and the house would be messy. And instead of snuggling my husband and my kids, I would be frustrated and have to clean. And I was like, why is it like this? And I read an article that said clutter is harder on women than men. And I was like, ding. And I was like, you know what? I think we have too much stuff. And I started to fix it. So here is what I learned. Every item in your home is either contributing to your piece or it is stealing from it. There is no neutral. You know that decorative bowl that you don't use that you maybe have thrown business cards in or something? It is stealing piece because it needs to be dusted. You need to move it when you clean. It takes up mental space. And those clothes that don't fit in your closet, they're stealing peace every time you see them and you feel bad about yourself. It's like having house guests who never leave and they don't contribute to the household. They're just taking up space and creating work. It's like the Hotel California of guests, but in reverse. Here's a huge thing you need to know. Most people when they are actively decluttering, they're only getting rid of about 20% of what actually needs to go. We are way too conservative with that stuff. We are too worried about making mistakes. What kind of mistake could you make? What kind of decluttering mistake could you make? Here's what I realized. Keeping things just in case was costing me more than just getting rid of them ever could. Problem 2, nothing has a real home. Now, I used to think organizing meant just clumping things together, just start clustering them like little sections, like just shove them, whatever. Wrong, because clustering without systems, it is just organized chaos. When items don't have specific homes, every time you use something becomes a decision. So you'd be asking yourself, where should this go? And when you're tired or in a hurry and the answer becomes, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this here for now. But then we all know that for now is code for until the next time that I can clean this entire house, because you never actually come back for it. That is how surfaces get cluttered. Drawers become catch-alls and organized spaces fall apart in days. Now, my own kitchen counter, it was a landing strip for everything, from mail to hair ties to that one screw that you found on the floor that probably belongs to something important, so you don't want to declutter it. But friends, yes, it gets worse. When nothing has a proper home, cleaning becomes impossible. You can't really clean a surface that's covered in homeless items. You end up just moving piles around, which feels like clearing, but accomplishes absolutely nothing. And please do not think that more storage is the solution. As I mentioned before, it is better to have systems. Every single item needs a home. It is sad. It needs a specific address and not just a general neighborhood. It's like, where do I go? Your keys don't just live somewhere in the kitchen. They live on a hook by the door. Your scissors don't live in a drawer. They live in the second drawer, left side, front section. I decided I needed homes for everything, a place for everything and everything in its place. Was that Mary Poppins that said that? Who said that? And also put them in places that make sense, like tea by the kettle, by the teacups, by the fridge. As a nurse, I saw how chaotic environments literally drain people's energy. And when your home is disorganized, your life feels disorganized. And here's a sciencey fact. Your brain uses glucose, actual fuel, to process visual clutter. You're literally exhausting yourself just by looking at mess. Have you ever noticed how you will instantly feel calmer when you walk into a hotel room? And that is because everything has a designated place. There's nothing wandering around. There's no piles. Your brain is like, spa time, rest. Problem 3, your daily habits are working against you. Here is the big one. You are not maintaining what you have cleaned. We treat cleaning like it is a sprint when it actually is a marathon. You can't run 26 miles once and call yourself a runner. And I have to confess that I was the queen of I will deal with this later. But spoiler alert, later never came. I would literally walk by that same pile of mail or whatever random thing, getting more frustrated every single time because I did it for weeks. And every time you put something down instead of away, you're just creating a future job for your already overwhelmed self, which is rude. Do you know that chair in your bedroom that is supposed to be for sitting on, but it's actually a clothing storage system? That's what happens when we don't have maintenance habits. And girl, it's not just about putting things away. Something even more helpful is missing. Most people don't have any daily reset routines. So I'm going to paint you a picture of my old evening routine. I am holding my hands because I wave them around too much. Okay. I would cook dinner, I would eat while watching TV, and then I would collapse on the couch and I would tell myself, I will clean it up later. And then later turned into bedtime, bedtime turned into I will do it in the morning, and morning turned into rushing out the door while mentally adding clean kitchen to my already overwhelming to-do list. I was so mad at myself when I would come home to cook dinner the next day and yesterday's mess was still there. Starting your day by cleaning up yesterday's mess, it's like trying to run a race with your shoelaces tied. You are already behind before you even start. I was essentially giving myself homework every single day and then wondering why I felt behind all of the time. The habits that create mess are often invisible to us. And we don't notice that we always drop our keys on the counter instead of on the hook. We don't realize we're creating piles instead of just making decisions. It's a habit. We can learn the habit of making decisions. Because here's what I discovered. Maintenance is easier than restoration. It takes 2 minutes to wash a dish, if that, immediately after you use it. It takes 20 minutes to wash a sink full of dishes. It takes 30 seconds to hang up a coat. And it takes 10 minutes to deal with the pile of coats on a chair. I was choosing the hard way every single time and then wondering why cleaning felt so overwhelming. I am a very slow learner though, so there's that. But the biggest habit working against us is we don't have boundaries around stuff. We let things accumulate without questioning whether they belong in our lives. It's like letting anyone just walk on into your house, set up camp in your living room. Eventually, you can't find your own couch. And I'm going to tell you something. I need access to my couch. Now that we understand the real problems, here is how to fix them. I use my own mighty method as a solution. It's a 4-step system that I developed to help women get out of survival mode. And I have a free resource called the Mighty Blueprint that walks you through this entire process with worksheets and checklists, and you can get it right here or down below. So let me give you the overview. Step 1, we're going to triage. So just like in the emergency room, we need to assess what needs immediate attention. You can't fix everything at once. So we're going to start by figuring out what is causing you the most stress. So look at what is working in your home and what isn't, and what needs attention first. And I want you to ask yourself, what result do I actually want from this space? How do I want it to look and feel? It's like being your own little Sherlock Holmes in your home. You're gathering evidence about what's really going wrong and how you want it to look. It's easy, it's fast, it's important. Step 2, we're going to simplify. We're going to declutter first before we try to organize. So before you buy another bin or a basket, remove what you don't need. And you'll probably end up having bins and baskets that you can use for stuff that you actually use and want to keep. Be more aggressive than you're comfortable with. Remember, most people, they actually only declutter about 20% of what actually needs to go. So if you aim for 40 to 50%, and I know that is still a low number, but we're going to be bold. If your closet is stuffed and you remove 5 items and it is still stuffed, or if your drawers are overflowing and you toss a few broken items and they're still overflowing, I want you to go back and I want you to try again, boo. You have got this. So I like to, when I'm decluttering, I like to ask myself some questions. If it's not a clear like yes or no, and again, if it's not a clear yes, it's probably a no, but ask yourself, do I use this regularly? Do I like this? As in, do I like this as in it's art and I like it, I will keep it, right? If it's like an ornament somebody gave you and it's not deeply sentimental, like grandma gave it to you or something, and you don't like it, let it go. You could also ask yourself, does this fit my current life, not my past life or my imaginary future life? And would I pack this if I were moving? I like that one too. Would I pay to store this? Also, does this add value or just take up space? And I personally had to be honest about my aspirational self, like a lot of you have. The person who was going to learn to take piano or acrylic painting or maybe even become a magician good with card tricks, that person, she does not exist. I'm never gonna knit. Well, at least not for a long time. And her stuff was taken over my house. Step 3, organize. Give everything a specific address. Not just a general area, a specific home. Like almost like I know exactly where this goes and I know which way I want it tilted. This is where most people go wrong, is that they often just think, oh, the bathroom stuff, it just goes in the bathroom. Any old drawer is specific enough, but it is not. Your toothbrush doesn't just live in the bathroom. It lives on the toothbrush holder or charger to the right of the sink. Your phone charger doesn't just live in the bedroom. It lives on the nightstand plugged into the outlet behind the lamp. Think of it like giving your stuff a GPS address. Instead of just saying somewhere in the neighborhood, if it takes more than 30 seconds to put something away, your system is broken and it might need a small tweak here and there. Your future tired self will thank you for making this simple. And now step 4 is to thrive. I love this part. We are creating daily maintenance habits. And this is the game changer. Implement a 10-minute morning reset and a 10-minute evening reset. It's like brushing your teeth. a small daily habit that prevents big problems later. So examples of a morning reset could be making beds, starting a load of laundry if needed, clearing kitchen counters, putting away anything that migrated overnight. And then your evening reset could be cleaning up after dinner immediately, doing a 5-minute pickup of common areas, prepping clothes for tomorrow. You can lay out your clothes, pack any bags, reset surfaces for the next day. And I also like having a touch it once strategy. Handle each item completely the first time. Don't put it down to deal with later. Deal with it now. Later is not a place on your calendar, and it is definitely not a location in your house. Hold on, I gotta let a cat out of the pantry. Come on. Oh, now you don't know what you want. There, go. There you go. So the Mighty Blueprint that I mentioned, it breaks down each of these steps with specific action plans, room by room guides, and troubleshooting for when you get stuck. It is completely free, and it is designed to walk you through this process without feeling overwhelmed. So I've linked that below for you. And now your home should support your life, not exhaust you. It should be your soft space, your clean home that is not taking from you. It is life-giving. It's not stress-inducing. It's the difference between doing laundry regularly versus waiting until you're wearing your least favorite pair of underwear because everything else is dirty. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that this is going to happen overnight. A lot of things that are worth doing take a little bit of time. So it takes a bit of upfront time. But I believe in you. And we all know that this time is going to pass regardless. So you may as well pass it doing something that's really going to benefit you. I would say it took me a month or two to fully declutter and organize my house, but that was like very focused. It was during 2020, during a certain time. We know what was going on then. Plus, it took another month or two to really establish the daily habits. This is something we work on in my membership. Each month, we pick a room, we go through the whole Mighty method. But here is what happened after the initial investment in time. I got my weekends back. I stopped spending Saturday mornings cleaning and I started spending them doing things I actually enjoyed. Just imagine waking up on Saturday morning and not immediately feeling overwhelmed by your to-do list and just being like, ugh, this weekend is going to be like every other weekend. Pretty darn nice. Plus, my stress levels dropped dramatically. I stopped losing things and I stopped feeling embarrassed when people drop by unexpectedly. And most importantly, I stopped feeling like I was constantly behind. And speaking of winning at life, keeping your house clean is easy with the most effective cleaning routine ever created. You need to check out this video here. This Victorian nurse figured out a system so good, it dropped hospital death rates by 42%. And when I tried her routine, it completely changed how I approach cleaning for a healthier home. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like, subscribe, give us a hype. Stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.